Hi, it's Tessa. So, is there a loophole to retiring here in the UK? I mean, what are your best chances if you think you want to live the rest of your life here in England, for example? Well, when I Googled the search term, can I retire to England from the USA? I was very happy to see that my blog post from hipover50.com came up on the first page. But right underneath that was a link gov.uk, the official website for the government here. And it said, extend your stay as a retired person of independent means. And if you saw that, you would have said, yeah, here we go. But if you click on the link, you will see the text that says this guidance was withdrawn in November of 2022 and has not been replaced. So that is the bad news. There is no longer any visa for retired folks. And actually, there's a little bit of a backlash against immigration at the moment in the UK, at least in the UK media. I know our PM, Rishi Sunak, is coming under fire for that. I'm not quite sure what the issue is. I know there's been quite a lot of cross-channel immigration from illegal immigrants, but they have issued a fair few visas here for legal immigration, and the majority of those are work or study visas. From what I can understand, the UK is desperately in need of skilled workers and also the revenue that foreign students can bring to our schools. So, what are your options if you want to retire here or, like I said, spend the rest of the best of your life? Well, I've said before, I think one great option for part time residency is to take advantage of the 6 month rule. That means you can come here for up to 6 months as a tourist or a visitor, and there is no restriction on how many times you can use that. So you could come over for 6 months, go home for a couple of weeks, come back. Now, it's not to be abused, and you really can't do much more than be a tourist or a visitor, but maybe that's all you really want to do is explore the British lifestyle, enjoy everything that I talk about, all the great things that you can experience here. By the way, I'm Tessa with Hip Over 50. This channel is all about my journey moving back to England after growing up in Canada and the US most of my life. What I'm learning now that I'm back here, what I'm sharing with you, so that maybe it will help you on your journey too. The second option is to explore any ancestry links. And if you have these, you're probably already aware of them. For example, if you have a family member or a partner who is a citizen or a settled resident, that could be your pathway into getting a visa to stay. Have you lived here before? I don't mean in another lifetime. I mean, have you had residency for a long period of time in the UK? That may enable you to come back. A bit of a wild card is, do you want to set up an innovative business? Now, they've done away with the investor visa. That also went the way of the retired person's visa, but there is now something called an innovative business visa. So that's if you can prove your business is more innovative than anything that they have currently in the UK. Granted, if you're retiring, you may not want to start a new business, but then a lot of folks do. A lot of people have a second lease on life, and that certainly might be something that you could look into if it piques your interest. You would just need to prove that you can, of course, support yourself and any family members that are coming over with you. So, granted, these options are available to anyone, not just a retired person, right? So, there is another bit of a wild card to getting UK citizenship or having the right to live here. And actually, that is if you have an Irish connection. Right now, our history with Ireland is a little bit complicated. The bottom line is Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. Ireland, or Southern Ireland, is not. However, both Irish countries, or both parts of Ireland, have the right to live freely in the UK. And actually, they also have the right to live freely in the EU. So you don't need permission to be here. In fact, I have a good friend who and her husband, they are both Irish citizens, and so they can live here without any problem at all. Now, they are from Northern Ireland, so if you live in Northern Ireland, that's a UK passport. If you live in Ireland, that's an Irish passport. But both passports allow you to live in the UK without any restriction. How do you get that? I mean, if you weren't born in Ireland, well, unlike England, where you can only go one step removed, in other words, your parent has to have been born in England for you to get citizenship. I think I mentioned before my son was able to get a British passport on my birth record. In Ireland, you can have a grandparent who was an Irish citizen. Even if one of your grandparents was born in Ireland, you can become an Irish citizen through them. And you can also become an Irish citizen if one of your parents was Irish when you were born, even if they weren't born in Ireland. So there you go. January 1st, 2005 is the marker, that's kind of the cutoff point. That was when an agreement was made. But if you were born in Ireland before this date, you are automatically a citizen. Or you can claim Irish citizenship if you were born in Northern Ireland. Like I said, Northern Ireland is a UK passport, Ireland is an Irish passport. Both passports have the right to freely move throughout the United Kingdom and the EU. Now that Britain has left the EU, we no longer have the right to travel there freely as we did before. We have to observe the 90 days out of 180-day rule. But if you have an Irish passport, that does not apply to you. I have a good friend whose partner has a home in France as well as a home here, and he goes over there without restriction because he also has an Irish passport. However, she has to observe the 90 out of 180-day rule. There you go. You can come over here for 6 months at a time freely as a tourist or visitor. If you've lived here before, if you have ancestry connections, you may be eligible for a visa. If you want to set up an innovative business, that may be a path for you as well. Or, of course, you can always apply for a work or study visa. So I hope that was helpful. I've got a great blog post on hipover50.com with probably more links and answers to your questions if you have them. If not, put them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. And it's great to see you back again. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I do appreciate it. I hope you are well. I'm filming this on a gloomy November day and hopefully you can see me. So bye for now. We'll see you next time.